Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Franklin from Couples Talk. On today's video, I want to quickly share on what I titled 7 communication skills to adopt in marriage. Now, over the months, I actually did a video on communication skills to avoid, or rather communication errors to avoid in marriage. But on this particular video, I want to do 7 communication skills to adopt, something that will help you do better in your marriage. Okay, now if you have not seen that video, I will just put the link in the description box below. Go and check that video out. I trust and I believe that there is so much that you will learn from that very video. Now, if this is your first time of coming to this channel, do not forget to give the video a thumbs up, and if you are interested in content on marriage, love and relationship and all that, then do not hesitate to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that the next time we post a new video, you will be the first to receive that video. Now, when we talk about marriage, it's of great importance we understand that communication is a very important thing. One of the reasons most marriages suffer today is because of the lack of communication. And guess what? Communication is something that, every couple need to improve upon. Even me, I've been married now for quite some years by the grace of God, but you won't believe that even till now, I'm still working on my communication skills. The reason is because communication is an integral part of marriage, and you don't say, oh, I know it all. You have to keep learning. You have to keep learning. You have to keep learning. You have to keep improving on your communication skill in marriage. So the first one we're going to be looking at here is that you've got to learn how to listen more with respect. Get the point now? If there is one thing that you've got to work on, is this: you want to improve communication in your marriage, then you've got to learn to listen more. You know what marriage is all about. A lot of times the responsibilities can be so much, and while that responsibilities are there could be several other things that is taking your attention. The children are there, your job is there, and this whole thing, they could juggle your brain. It could make you to be in your home, but you are not paying attention. So learn to listen more. When your spouse is trying to communicate anything to you, learn to listen more. Listen with respect. Don't listen with this idea of, come on, okay, I've heard. Don't listen like that. When you keep listening like that, you are shutting your spouse out. And I'm telling you, that is something that you do not want for yourself. So I want to encourage you in this direction. Learn to listen more with respect. Listen more. Do not be so impatient to the point where you are not willing to listen at all. It shouldn't be that way. And guess what? When you are listening more with respect, your spouse will know. Your spouse is able to know when you are listening with respect and when you are not listening at all, or when you are just trying to shut him or her out. You've got to understand this. Remember, you are not talking to a stranger. You are talking to your spouse. You are talking to your life partner. Do not be so carried away, or you get to that point where you don't want to listen any longer. Do not get to that point. So learn to listen more with respect. Number 2, be genuinely interested in what your spouse is saying. There are times when your spouse may be trying to communicate certain important details to you. If you're not interested, hear me, it's going to become a problem in the long run. That's the truth. It will become a problem that you are not able to handle. So the best thing to do in a matter like this is to be genuinely interested in whatever your spouse is saying. Number 3, learn to ask questions. Whatever it is you do not understand, ask your spouse questions. If, for example, maybe you and your spouse, you had a little bit of an issue, ask questions and say, sweetheart, are you angry? Are you okay? Is everything okay with you? What's going on with you? What's happening with you? What happened at your workplace? Learn to ask this question, because there are times when spouses, they may tend to want to just keep certain things to themselves, and you do not want that. If there is anything that is so important in marriage, is open communication. Both parties should be able to open up and discuss whatever it is that is a trouble, okay, to them. So learn to open up. It will go a very long way to help. Open up, ask questions. What's going on with you? Hope all is well. And when you are asking questions, you are giving room for them to open up and literally speak to you regarding whatever it is that is a burden or a bother to them. Okay, so the next communication skill to adopt in your marriage is to explain well. Listen very carefully, my friend. If you want communication in your marriage to be as smooth as possibly, listen carefully. You've got to learn how to explain well. There are certain matters that, until and unless you explain properly to your spouse, it could become a problem. It could become a source of misunderstanding. So in order to avoid that, you should learn to explain properly. Take your time to break things down so that there will be a proper understanding between the both of you. If you can do that, it will go a very long way to help your communication in marriage. And then the next skill to adopt here is to be polite and do not shout. A lot of times, couples, they get so used to each other to the point where they tend to shout at each other, which shouldn't be the case. Now, there's nothing wrong with being used to each other, but at the same time, we should not forget that the both of you need to maintain that respect for each other. I know that there are times when shouting could be an impulsive thing. It could be something that just happened out of the blue. But the truth of the matter is that this area needs to be worked on. Like me, sometimes, I don't do it all the time though, okay? But there are times when I could just snap. And this happens a lot of times when I'm praying and fasting. You know how fasting is. Fasting sometimes, it could make you be very angry. I don't know if you've experienced that, but when you are fasting, you're not happy. I don't know why that happens anyway, okay? When you are fasting, there is this tendency to get really, really worked up. You are angry with everybody. Not angry per se. It's not like you're angry with everybody, but you are just not in a good mood. That's the right word. So in the process, you could shout. But what I'm trying to communicate here is that you need to deliberately be polite. That's the truth. That's something that I too am working on. You have to deliberately be polite. Now, the reason why being polite is so important is because when you are polite, you are bringing an atmosphere of peace into your home. That's the truth. You are bringing an atmosphere of peace into your home. That's why being polite is so important. Now, when I'm talking about being polite, I'm not just only talking about being polite to your spouse, but even to your children. There are times when you shout, but then there are times when you should also be polite. It will help your relationship with your kids. It will help your relationship with your spouse as well. Okay, so that's something that you need to adopt. Think about it. A lot of times it's not something that most people want to just shout. Okay, they do it because it's a part of them. They just do it out of impulse. But what I'm saying is, it shouldn't be that way. Put control over that area of your life now, because it will go a very long way to help your home. It will bring peace in your home. It will help your spouse to have more respect for you. It's so important you do this. It's something that your children can easily learn from as well. Okay, now the next thing that needs to be worked on is that you need to avoid bringing up sensitive matters in the wrong time or at the wrong time. There are matters that are sensitive, and you need to check the mood of your spouse before bringing up such matters, because if you don't check the mood of your spouse, trust me, you're going to blow things up. That's the truth. When you bring up sensitive matters, when your spouse is not in a good mood, the both of you are just only going to end up having a bit of a fight, and at the end of the day, you spoil each other's mood. I mean, that's not something you want for yourself. So you must learn to avoid bringing up sensitive matters at the wrong time. I'm not saying that you should not address sensitive matters. I'm just saying that do not bring it up at the wrong time. If at all you should bring it up when your spouse is in a good mood, when your spouse is not going to snap, when your spouse is not going to feel that you are trying to get ahead of yourself. Okay, so that's something that you should think about. It will go a very long way to help you. Okay, now the next communication skills to adopt in your marriage is that you must learn to let go. Do not nag. Learn to let go. Do not nag. I do not know how to stress this, but trust me, when it comes to letting go, you will do yourself a whole lot of good to just let go. There are certain matters that, as long as you continue to nag about it, it lingers. It will not stop. It just lingers. Remember, the both of you are husband and wife. There will always be issues that the both of you will nag about, and it will just continue to linger. And when I'm talking about this, I'm not just talking about just from the lady side, even from the guy side. There are times when, as a man, you could be a nag and you just do not know it. So instead of you to continue to nag, just let sleeping dog lie. That's the truth. Let it be. Let it be and move on with your life. You get the point now. So that's something that you should consider adopting in your marriage. Now, the final one here is that you must learn to make eye contact with your spouse when you are talking. You see, there is something about making eye contact. When you make eye contact with your spouse, it reassures them that you are confident of what you are saying. It reassures them that you are not ashamed of them. It reassures them that you truly love them. And it goes a long way to make your bond to be stronger. That's how it goes. You get the point now? So this is something that you should learn to do. Make eye contact when you're talking to your spouse. So that'll be all for this very video. I trust and I believe that you've learned something of value. If you've done that, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to drop me a comment. I want to know what you think. I want to hear from you. I want to know that point that resonated with you, something that you really loved. You can see in the course of the video, I actually spoke about some of the things that I do. And the reason I do that is to help you understand that I'm not speaking to you as an expert. I'm speaking to you as one who is privileged to have certain experiences, and I'm just trying to share whatever experience that I've had. And I believe that you could learn from some of these experiences to go a long way to help you, because I am learning. Something I've discovered when it comes to marriage, there are no experts. Trust me, there are no experts at all. Marriage is something that we learn on the go. Each day brings new experiences that we learn from. And guess what? As long as you are a student and not an expert in your marriage, I'm telling you, your marriage will flourish. That's just the truth. So I hope to speak to you again in my next video. Until then, keep smiling, keep shining, and keep communications line open in your marriage. I'll see you when I see you. God bless you. Don't forget to click on the link below for my new book on Marriage Made Easy. That book is an easy read. I'm telling you, it's an easy read. It can go a very long way to help your mindset when it comes to your marriage. See you when I see you. God bless you.